Let me just quickly touch on the issue of the protest that my co-panelists wanted to bring up. And I just want to remind her that we are in a democratic republic where rule of law is supposed to be paramount above everything. So it's not like we are in the PNDC era where it was a dictatorship where the president can just pick up a phone and then say that arrest these people. We saw the peaceful protests had by some of the youth on this galamsey issue over the weekend. I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I don't think anybody was arrested because they did not engage in the acts that the previous protesters did. All they did was very well documented. And one thing I ask myself is, why are human beings, why are we trying to do this to condone things that we know deep in our hearts are not good? I just want to ask Prof here, if you were driving your daughter to 37 and you were mobbed the way they were mobbed there at that time, or your truck of blocks was coming and then you were mobbed like that, or you saw the dispatch rider who was mobbed, we saw different acts that should be condemned during that protest. Someone had the nerve, the hubris to go into a police vehicle, take the key and throw it away. There are videos of some of the protesters attacking police in riot gear. Then the police do what is right in that, because somebody has committed an offense.
Misdemeanor offense.
Yes, in full view of them.
Offense.
So are you supposed to let that go?
You don't have to let that go.
And
but
I don't think stealing of the police.
Like
I don't think.
What happened to?
Annie, let me land.
What happened to social punishments?
No. So let me land. Let me explain the entire sequence of events, because it's not really in the control of anybody. We have rule of law. I don't know if taking a police key and throwing it away is considered a misdemeanor, or if attacking police officers is also considered a misdemeanor. But when all of this...
the charges, what will you place them under?
There was in the police, the statement that the police released on Twitter, it stated the stealing of the key, it stated attacks on the police officers. So let's leave it. Yes, let's leave it to the lawyers for that. I'm saying when you do all of that in full glare of the police, the right thing for them to do is not what they did during Let My Vote Count, to whip people with batons and whip people with horse whips and to even cause injury to somebody's eye to the point that they die. No. The only thing that they are allowed within the law to do is to arrest these people and put them before court. And that has been happened. The Attorney General has even come out to say that he's going to recommend favorable bail conditions for these people. So why are we now trying to say that we are against rule of law? Is that what you are saying? When John Mahama comes, he's going to call the IGP to use the power to arrest people? Is that what the NDC is trying to tell us today? I don't think that's something that should be countenanced at all. And when I came here earlier today, the discussion I wanted to have was one devoid of politicization or throwing blame around. Because if you sit here and you say that the president should be able to stop galamsey, John Mahama was in government. He's not brand new. He's not a new person that has come into our lives in this country. He has been president before. During his time, Anas Arimia Anas made a documentary, Al Jazeera, Ghana Gold, where the River Pra was destroyed. The late President Atta Mills is seen granting an interview on the issue. Why didn't he stop it? Why did he not stop it? That's what we are saying. During his time, what did he do? Obviously, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government is the one that has put up
Was that documentary credible?
Of course. I don't see anything to doubt the credibility of that documentary.
Okay,
I don't see anything to doubt and those times, which, as I said earlier on the show, I went to school in Cape Coast. We used to see it. It's not to say to belittle what is going on here or to deny government's responsibility in this issue. That's not what we are doing at all. But to sit here and
That's why sometimes I say this government, sometimes your communicators are just hypocritical. How do you say that that documentary at that time was credible and even is criticizing the administration at the time for not doing anything about it? And what did we do? We voted out that administration. The same person you are making reference to conducted similar investigation. In fact, His Excellency says, I'm using the popular announced principle. And today, what is happening?
No, I don't think anybody is disputing the credibility of these documentaries that are coming out. No.
What we are trying to say... has conducted a documentary the same way, cited persons at the presidency. What happened to them? So we can say the same logic you're applying to the previous administration, the same logic can be applied to the current administration. In this case, persons within the presidency, the office of the president, were cited in the same, not a different Anas, the same Anas documentary.
if persons within the presidency, see, the issue with galamsey and its causality being very difficult makes it such that when we talk about some of the acts of sabotage of the NDC, like the video of Ekua Amoako that shows Tony Obeng and then him talking to the miners at that point to try and convince them to vote for John Mahama, and that if he comes, he's going to let them continue their small-scale mining. There are other videos of other NDC appointees going to these mining pits at that time in 2020 when Nana Addo Dankwa had put his presidency on the line to fight galamsey. One question I ask is, why don't you arrest them? And sitting here...
Are you asking me?
No, one question I get. Question I get
why
is
are you
that...
Getting this
yes. No,
but you should throw that question to
It's about the same thing. But really, somebody has gone to a galamsey pit to campaign. Let's look at it clinically. And maybe the lawyers can help us. What offense are you going to charge that person with?
For inciting persons to conduct an illegality, to engage in an illegality.
I don't think that...
If you take that person to court, his video is very popular. Play it in court for the judge to decide that what that person is doing...
What I'm trying to say is that prosecuting these kind of things is very dicey.
It's not.
Because you have
no, Doc, I disagree with you.
No, Annie. So I don't know the laws in this issue, but I don't know if somebody can be arrested for saying something.
It's not any case that a lawyer is defending in court, that the lawyer is really pretty sure that this case I'm actually winning by hook or crook.
But what is the charge?
Sometimes you just take your chances. That is part of the law. I mean, they're lawyers, they know their work.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's very difficult, but you will try.
A lot of things that happen in this world are not nice. They are not pleasant. But to be able to prove that it's a crime is another issue. Because what he did, what Ekua Amoako, Tony Obeng, and all of those people did, was to go and stand there and talk to them to campaign.
You know the Attorney General took the minority leader to court.
Right? The ambulance trial.
Yes, but was that case not complicated?
No. There was a clear... The Attorney General felt like he had the prima facie case to establish...
He felt.
And that's a...
But he was not sure whether he was going to win
established in law. It's not the same thing as prosecuting someone based on what they've said. If we are being very honest, how many people have been prosecuted in this country for what they said? I'm not saying that that is the only way to deal with this. What they did was absolutely terrible and should not be countenanced. But to be able to prosecute them is what I'm saying is not absolutely easy. What we are also talking about is the lack of the NDC, and I don't know why it's so incoherent coming out from their turn. My co-panelist is sitting here saying, let's put a ban on galamsey or something along those lines. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I've not heard the flag bearer of the NDC or the running mate of the NDC say that. In fact, Jane Nana mounted a podium somewhere in the central region and said they are not going to stop it. What I found very interesting...
Put it accurately.
I think what did she say? She said they are going to teach them the proper way to do...
Of mining.
Yes. How is that proper way? The difference between the MPP and the NDC is that we've sat... If I had enough time, my plan today was to tell the people of Ghana the plans we had, and after they listen to it, they will know that that's the most comprehensive approach. Back to that issue with Jane Nana.
Which one is the most comprehensive approach?
Let me finish what I'm saying and then we'll come back.
No, you said which one is the most comprehensive? Your plan?
Yes, of course. The bold solution. I will come back to it because I want to end with that.
So if in the next 2 months we lose one person to galamsey, have you done us any good?
No, of course not. And everything will be done to ensure that doesn't happen. The president is still directing.
Everything will be done.
Everything will be done to make sure that the president has already set up another task.
Hold on. Like it
to address the issues.
Like COVID. Even COVID, we could take people to the hospital and give them medicine. Even that, the president was holding day-to-day addresses for us.
So do you think the president is not doing anything on this?
But he has decided to.
No, so he
decided to just ignore us.
No, he hasn't. No. Let me assure you and all Ghanaians that the president has not decided to abandon you. Talks are going on. He's engaging organized labor and to be able to come up with a more comprehensive solution to this issue. And back to what I was saying about the issue of Honorable Jane Nana, Professor Jane Nana, standing right next to somebody who is known in galamsey, somebody who has granted a video, Joanna Jan, their parliamentary candidate for Memphis Central, somebody who has granted an interview to delay. Anybody who is interested in seeing the duplicity on the side of the NDC can go and watch that video because it is there. You mount a platform instead of telling us the solutions you have come up with because you fought this fight before and you lost woefully to the point that your Minister of Environment came out and said the approach they are using to fight this fight cannot be won. Let's consider a new approach. You don't consider that new approach.
But you know that is leadership. That's bold leadership.
Yes, but
have they taken? He was a minister in charge of that environment, that ministry.
Yes, a lot of people have also come out to say that this approach that the NPP is taking has not worked.
That's what you've not been able to do.
No, people have said that. And what I'm saying is that has the NDC and John Mohammed's administration taken that into... Go and look at their manifesto and see what their plans. I asked earlier, hoping my co-panelists will explain to us what their plans are for this galamsey. Because everybody in Ghana knows they have no moral right on this issue. John Mohammed mounts a platform to say that... He mounts a platform to say that nobody in his government will be allowed to mine. When you are presenting a parliamentary candidate who is on video saying that she started galamsey when she was 8 years old, I'm not going to sit here and be absolutely unfair to her and say that the scale at which she has reached now, that she's still doing galamsey in our river, but she has obviously probably moved into small-scale mining. No, so let me land. I've not done an investigation on her. I'm just using her own words. She granted an interview with Delay where she said she started doing galamsey at 8 years old.
Okay. First of all, what is galamsey?
What? Galamsey is illegal mining.
No. I'm not talking about the current situation, the heights at which we're seeing it now.
Yes.
What is galamsey?
Gather and sell is what they say. Yes. So no, right now, are we trying to differentiate?
Hold on. Let's be fair. I don't want to judge on this platform.
Yes. So if you listen to what I said, I tried not to judge her. So if we say
the genesis of the word is galamsey, is gather and sell. At 8 years, I don't know her age now, she was doing galamsey. I want to assume that she was doing, those
panning.
Children panning, those ones. That's what she was doing. Yes. Now she has grown. Obviously, maybe the word has grown with her.
Yes, exactly the point I was trying to make.
Hold on.
Exactly
so she's now digging pits, right? For people to fall in and die. What are we doing about it? Yeah? Now she's digging under people's homes.
The point of all of this was the duplicity.
So wait. And she's confessed on somebody's program that I'm digging under somebody's house.
She didn't say she's digging.
No, I want to make it, I want to exaggerate it, because from what you're saying,
that's what
I want to assume that is what she's doing. Why have you not picked her up? At least, you're not picking her up to put her in jail. You are picking her for further investigation, because today, the twist on the name galamsey is very different from what we used to know. That is just gather and sell. Now it is galamsey is digging under people's homes. Galamsey is destroying the environment.
Galamsey is in
the river bodies. So anybody that sits on TV and says, I'm into galamsey, you are at a risk of being invited by the police for investigation. How is that not done? Is the Bahama supposed to do it?
No.
Am I the host supposed to come and do that?
Nobody's asking you to do that.
Why?
One thing that I wanted to make clear since the beginning of the show was the difference between small-scale mining and illegal mining. So if we go into her activities and we find that she's exceeding the limits of her small-scale mining license, of course the law will deal with her. It's very important to know that in this administration, about 850 people are going through the court process who have been arrested for galamsey. It is very important to know that. So if she's done anything wrong, of course, the arm of the law would deal with her. But right now, the fact that the issue has been so confused and small-scale mine galamsey, because people are attacking people that are legitimate small-scale miners. But how do you say you are going to make sure that nobody in your government engages in small-scale mining or whatever when your parliamentary candidate in Memphis Central is doing that? It doesn't even stop there. Yesterday,
right now, it's an allegation. You have not established.
No, she's on video saying it herself.
It is not evidence enough.
When somebody comes out themselves to say, I used to do galamsey from 8 years old, and I do it now.
I'm trying to
give of her on site doing this.
So why are they not arrested?
Thank you. Look, as I said here, I'm personally not going to defend anybody that's destroying the environment, whether NPP or I really.
What I'm saying is, to be fair to her, are we sure that she's destroying them? She's a small-scale miner.
So why are you making reference to
why is she referring to?
Mahama said that
your women organizers
engaged in small-scale mining. My women organizers have been.
No.
Why is there's a video of him saying that?
He did not say. He did not say that you are. Once you are in mining, we are arresting you.
Nobody in his government is going to engage in small-scale mining. If they want to mine, they should leave his government and go. That's what he said. It's on video. It's well documented. But you are presenting a parliamentary candidate who has said to be doing this. And what is going on is right now you are mentioning Madame K. Jemfua, whose excavators have even been seized under this administration. She's a licensed small-scale miner. If the NDC's problem this morning from my dear co-panelist who keeps on interrupting me is to go and then now attack small scale. They come clear and then say it. The issue at hand is the issue of mining in river bodies, destroying our water bodies. And one other thing that I noted recently was that after the discussions with small-scale labor, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, has decided that the LI for mining in forest reserves should be given a second look. This is the kind of governance we want, a responsive governance. You make a demand and it is met, not the duplicity of the opposition. When this Nana Addo was fighting galamseyers, you were mounting platforms at that time telling them that you will grant amnesty to the people arrested. You were sending your people, top big wigs, people that were even former Minerals Commission people, to the mining pits to tell them that if you are elected, they shouldn't even wait. There was another video, to be fair, don't even wait. As soon as this is the people that we want to bring back. How is that the issue? How is that the solution to the problem? John Mahama and Jane Nana have been going around the country talking about who has said any solution on this issue.